So Genesis is not corrupted anymore?
There is some truth.
Okay, yeah. What do you use to determine what's true, what's corrupted, what's not corrupted in Genesis? How do you do that?
Criteria is the Quran.
Okay, there you go. I knew that was going to be the answer. So your information is from the Quran. I'm asking you, how do you know that the Quran is from God? And ultimately, your criteria is the Quran. That's circular. That's fallacious. All right, guys, let's get the next one up. I don't know what this person is. What's up? What's your faith?
Hey, how are you?
Doing good. What's your faith?
I'm a Muslim.
Okay. What's your question?
You have questions. That's the thing. So we just want to hear from you. What's your objections about Islam?
Yeah, like for example, I don't understand how Muhammad was able to verify that that was Angel Gabriel that gave him the revelation. Can you tell me how he verified that?
First of all, what makes this revelation, which is the Quran, an authentic revelation from God, is Muhammad himself never claims that he's a divine or his divinity or anything like that. He's just a normal person like me and you. Okay? The age of 40, without any external sources whatsoever about knowledge, a guy like Muhammad came and he, in front of his people, he just came up with a poetic form of speech, which was not familiar with Muhammad, because Muhammad said he stayed in this same society for almost 40 years. So that's where the whole thing started. Muhammad was worshiping, or used to worship God in seclusion in a cave. That's when Angel Gabriel approached him. He wasn't sure who was that.
Okay, good, true. Thank you for getting there. How did he know after? Brother, hold on, bro. Hold on, dude. Hold on. You're going on story time. I didn't ask all this. How did he verify that it was actually him? Can you please answer that question?
Yes, exactly. And this is, I'm coming actually to your verse, which you're using, that, you go to the Christians or go to the older.
Dude, I didn't ask about that. I'm asking for the confirmation. Okay. True, bro. Dude, you asked. Listen, man. I gave you an opportunity to bring whatever you wanted to bring. You said no. You asked the question. Fine. I'm asking the question. You started going on a tangent on things that don't answer my question. I know the story. I know he went to the cave. I know he was choked. I know all those things. Okay. I just want to know, how did he verify that it was Gabriel in that cave? Please get to that. That's all I'm interested in. Not interested in all the other things. I just want to know, how did he know?
Okay. He went to his wife. I don't know if you know all the
Yes,
details.
he went to Khadijah. She stripped naked and she did all these things. And then she went to Waraqa bin Nawfal. Yeah, I know the whole story, okay?
All right.
So are you saying the verification came from Waraqa? Is that what you're saying?
You told him that you are.
Okay, good. Now, this is called begging the question, okay? How did Waraqa know it was Gabriel?
Because he described what actually he saw. And he told him, this is in Arabic called the Namus. This is the angel who came for Moses, for Jesus, for all the other prophets.
Bro, what did he describe? Where is he getting it from? That from what Muhammad described matches what the previous prophets did. Where did he get that from?
What do you mean? Say it again.
When Muhammad described to Waraqa what he experienced, how did Waraqa know what he described matches what the previous prophets got?
Because Waraqa was a very knowledgeable guy about the old scriptures and the old religions, and he was on the Abrahamic faith. That's
okay. What scriptures was he reading?
He probably was very, very familiar with the Christian scriptures,
which is
unchanged, uncorrupted Christian scriptures.
Oh, so they were preserved in the 7th century then.
There was some, bro. You have to understand that this is the 7th century.
Right. They were preserved. So that means they were preserved in the 7th century if he was reading from the original scriptures, right?
Okay.
So they weren't corrupted.
You're not letting me finish.
Brother, they weren't corrupted in the 7th century?
In some areas there was corruption.
Oh, so Waraqa was the only one that had non-corrupted scriptures, but every other Christian had corrupted scriptures.
Okay. Now we come into illogical arguments.
No,
Why?
right, from your
There
end,
was
from your
no-
point,
there was
yes.
no-
Your position,
there was no
I agree.
YouTube.
I agree. Your position is illogical. For you to assume that Waraqa had preserved non-corrupted scriptures, but everyone else had corrupted scriptures.
Not everybody else.
Not everybody else?
Bro, there is a different area. There wasn't an ability to
Uh-huh.
communicate. It's not like we communicate right now.
Okay,
You
good.
know, I'm in New York City. I don't know where you are. So we're in different areas. So we can communicate.
Okay, good. So show me what Waraqa saw in the previous scriptures in order to confirm that was Gabriel. What did he see?
There is. I don't have any.
Okay.
documentation.
There you go.
Tell
And
me
that's why Islam's a red flag. I can't confirm anything you're saying is true. I can't confirm what Waraqa is saying is true. I can't confirm that when it comes to this being Gabriel in the cave, I can't confirm Muhammad's testimony. I can't confirm Waraqqa's testimony. I can't confirm your testimony. I can't confirm anything. How do I confirm this?
Great. Very, very, very. These people, okay, like Muhammad, like Waraqa, okay, like even the Arabs at that time, they knew there is God. What their main problem is, they were using idols as a way to get closer, okay, to God.
True. I didn't ask about any of this.
I'm just giving you context.
I don't need the context. I didn't ask for context. I don't need the context. True. I don't need the context. Save your breath. I want to know, why can't I confirm anything you're saying?
Okay.
How does that make sense?
Okay, 1 second. Did the Quran come and tell you go worship Satan? Go worship your idols? Or it came against all of these kind of worship?
Yeah. The Book of Mormon, which is a polytheistic book, tells you to go worship God and don't worship Satan. So is that from God too?
That's not from God.
Okay. So see how your criteria of, it tells you to honor your parents, which the Book of Mormon tells you to do. It tells you not to worship Satan, which the Book of Mormon tells you. Therefore, we know it's from God. That, bro, what? So then that means you need to go also be a Mormon. But you know you wouldn't do that. So once again, your claims are not actually matching up. They're not. How can I confirm that this is actually from Gabriel, that Gabriel delivered this? How can I confirm that?
Okay, let me come to a very important point. Okay, we didn't see Gabriel. Okay, we didn't see Muhammad. But if I show you, there is some signs in this book. No human being at this time, 7th century Arabia, can come up with. How are you gonna be able to defend that position?
Yeah, it's not defense. I would just ask you, is it possible for another being other than a human and other than God to bring this information?
Okay, so you want to say that God, who supposedly be all-knowing about everything, he will allow somebody to come to deceive the whole humanity? And
yes.
Exactly.
Doesn't Allah allow Satan to deceive people?
God allows Satan.
Thank you. So yes, yeah, you just answered your own question. You just answered your own question. Your question was, you mean to tell me that God would allow Satan to deceive humanity? And then I asked, well, doesn't Allah allow Satan to deceive humanity? Well, yes. Okay, that answers your question, dude. Yes.
You would choose, brother. If I put in front of you criteria, okay, and the logical explanations, and you prefer and you chose not to believe in them because of other reasons, I don't know what the reasons, that is called, okay, Satan deceived you. But if the criteria are very clear,
dude, can you prove, bro? Dude, I'm not interested in your supposed logical syllogism or whatever it is you're presenting here. What I want to know is, yeah, this information. If I granted to you that Muhammad brought information that a human couldn't know in the 7th century, how can you prove that this is for sure from God and not from Satan? How can you prove that?
Because who's Muhammad is asking us to worship?
So, what if Allah is Satan? What if Satan is disguising himself as Allah?
What kind of argument is this, bro?
What do you mean? Is it not possible? Wait, is it not possible? You don't think Satan is capable of saying, I am God?
Brother, Satan is a tool. He is also a tool by God to test.
How do you know that? How do you know what Satan is? Where do you get that information from?
It's in the Bible. It's in the Quran. You know, when the serpent went to in Genesis in Genesis 2, when the serpent went to Eve.
So Genesis is not corrupted?
Say it again.
So Genesis is not corrupted anymore?
There is some
Okay, yeah. And how do you know how do you know what's true? How do you know what's true and what's not in Genesis? How do you know that?
How do I know?
What do you use to determine what's true, what's corrupted, what's not corrupted in Genesis? How do you do that?
It is the criteria is the Quran.
Okay, so there you go. So your information, there you go. I knew that was going to be the answer. So your information is from the Quran. So I'm asking you, how do you know that the Quran is from God? And ultimately, your criteria is the Quran. That's circular. That's fallacious.
If we prove that the Quran, nobody else, there is an extraordinary power, give Muhammad this information, okay?
Go ahead, my love. What's your question?
A lot of scientific information was just proved recently correct. It's not in the book. You want to tell me? Oh, I'm just gonna.
Hey, let me just like save you the breath.
Right now. God, bro.
Go ahead. That's what you're saying. Hold on 1 second. If you said that the Quran is the criteria to know what is true in the Bible, then why is the Torah and the Injeel and the Zabur, why are those things the criteria to know what is true or right or correct in the Quran? They can't be both. They can't both be the criteria for each other. That's a contradiction. So you would basically be forfeiting the argument.
Okay.
So you made a claim that the Quran is the criteria, but the Quran says otherwise. It says that the previous scriptures are the criteria for the Quran. So the Bible doesn't actually need the Quran, but the Quran needs the Bible.
Okay. I got your point. But when the Quran mentioned those, Quran mentioned the uncorrupted, the unchanged, unchanged revelations came to Jesus. That's the true Injeel, which he cannot get it, and the Torah, which came to Moses.
Yeah, so that means in the 7th century they were preserved.
Some people had the original message.
Oh, okay,
Some
okay,
people,
yeah.
People, okay. I'll give you an example. This is a historical example.
Hold on, True. Hold on. How do you know? Like, do you have any evidence of this original Injeel from the 7th century?
Yeah, because that's another thing that you guys impose a lot. They impose the word original, and it's nowhere in the Quran. They're imposing that there was some sort of original when the Quran only speaks of our scriptures.
Yeah, you're making the assumption that it means the original. But is there any evidence of showing the original? Like, do you have evidence of this original Injeel, and then the rest of the Injeels are corrupted based off of that evidence? Do you have any evidence of this?
The original Injeel was basically calling for worship one God, and that's just why
Brother, I didn't ask that. I said, do you have any evidence of this original Injeel? Can we look at it today?
It wasn't actually all what you see have been written 60, 70 years after Jesus.
Brother, I didn't ask that either. Okay, so let me be more clear. You made a claim. True. You are long-winded, and you are long-winded about things I'm not asking about. Okay, you made the claim that in the 7th century that there were people that had the original scriptures, but not everybody had it. Okay, so as far as what we know from before the time of Christ and after the time of Christ, all of the manuscripts that we have do not support this idea of an Injeel that matches the Quran perfectly. So where is this evidence that you have of this original Injeel? Otherwise, you're just making an argument of silence, which is fallacious.
I'm not making an argument, but I go basically with the narrations, which has been verified, that Waraqa, the guy had an original writings. He was a scholar. Okay.
How do you know? How do you know that he had the original writings? How do you know he had the original writings if everything in the 7th century doesn't match the Quran?
This is in the Muslim.
I understand that, brother. I understand that you believe that. You don't have to reiterate that. I know that that's what you believe, but just because you believe it, that doesn't mean it's true. You need to justify. How do you know that Waraqa had the original scriptures when we have manuscripts from that time and before that don't match anything of the Quran, which you would say is corrupted.
No, babe, they had so many scriptures before the Quran, and as soon as the Quran was complete, they just threw them all away.
Do you have anything written by Jesus himself?
Do we need to have anything written by Jesus?
Of course.
Why? Was the Injeel written by Jesus? Wait, was the wait. Was the Injeel written by Jesus?
He's the receiver of the
I didn't ask that. I said, was it written by Jesus?
You don't have an Injeel.
Hello? Was it written by Jesus?
It has to be a form. Like
Was it written by Jesus? Did Jesus write it down?
He didn't write it down.
Thank you. So what are you asking, dude? You don't even believe that.
It's a testimony. You made a testimony in your Bible, and this is a testimony of John, testimony of Mark, testimony of
So what? So what? Where's this? So what, bro? So prove me wrong. Prove me. Yeah. True. Prove me wrong by bringing the original Injeel. Where is it? Should we look up? Should I call like a Dawa store and see if they have the Injeel there? See if I can buy it.
There was some remnants of it in the old times, but this God,
Okay, prove it.
don't have it.
Prove it.
Otherwise, you know
Do
what?
we have? If there's remnants of it, then we'll be able to see it. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it, brother? Where is it, bro? Where is it? Where's the remnants of it? Where is the yeah? Now we're going bot mode. Now we're going bot mode. Yeah, exactly. You are stuck, and you can't prove any of your claims. So now you got to start going to emotional appeals. You worship a man. That's what you have to go to because you can't answer these questions. Where is these remnants? Huh? Where are they? Where is this original Injeel that you're talking about? Where is it? Prove me wrong.
We don't have it.
Thank you. So then you can't confirm or justify any claims you're making right now. Why should I believe you?
We have to go back to.
Why should I believe you? Why should I? If you can't justify your own arguments, why should I believe you?
No. We have to go because basically right here, God is not a man. You know, with all even the sayings of Jesus.
Yeah, dude.
We're
gonna shift to something different now. I asked you something specific. Why should I believe you in your claims that the Quran is true and you can't justify any of your claims? Why should I believe you?
Because I can verify to you that the Quran is true.
Yeah, okay. Dude, this whole conversation has been, how is the Quran true? And I'm asking you, and based on your arguments as to why the Quran is true, I'm saying, why should I believe you? Why should I believe you based on what you said? Well, because I can prove to you the Quran is true. Circular, right back in. Babe, take that down. That's gonna be. I'm gonna get flagged for that, babe.
Nah,
Yes, I am, babe. Take that down, please.
Take it back.
Oh my gosh, what's up?
Hey, what's up, man? I'm not trying to say too much. I'm just trying to tell you you're right. Jesus is king, not Allah. And a lot of these people just sit here and.
All right, thanks for coming, bro. Appreciate it. That was nice. Oh boy.
Can you make me big screen on this one so you can read it this time? It's cute. When y'all see this face, it's because the live just started and I just woke up.